Hello there, YouTube fans. Am I not this one? Believe it or not, they said bit in the anniversary of this. That being from 1987 by Schumacher, The Lost Boys. That's right, The Lost Boys, starring Tifa Sutherland. A very long Tifa Sutherland, I may add. Now, this was the era when vampire movies was making a comeback. Thanks because of one movie being Fright Night. You could say a lot of vampire movies were making a comeback. This being one of them. Which roughly the same year they did another vampire movie called from remember right there, Near Dawn. That's right, Near Dawn. Which is another good vampire movie. I might be through that one day on the road. But at the time, there's a lot of more interesting history about this. A lot. One of them being that Schumacher, at the time, just a bit of history, at the time was going to do Lethal Weapon. That's right, he was going to do Lethal Weapon. But as we all know, he never got to direct Lethal Weapon. But they did have a love letter to The Lost Boys. If you ever see Lethal Weapon, I remember saying this loads of times. There's a scene where Ritz, played by Mel Gibson, and Danny Duffer as Murdoch, are getting into the car and it says, "Now on theatre showing, The Lost Boys." That was a love letter to Schumacher. So I kind of like that. I thought that was a nice little touch to the film. So we're going to go with the film. You get a good bit of song. You go, time is the birth, shall not kill. And then you get a very long Chief of Sullivan in the fair. There's a bit of it always getting into a fight, and this guy kicks him out. Big mistake, because halfway through the film, he's getting, well, having in the beginning of the film, I should say, getting into his car. You don't see it, but you get the idea, he gets attacked. Then you've got a new family moving into this town. That's Dave, one of the actors who is sadly no longer with us. May he rest in peace, being no longer brother in the film. And it's like I say, it's a good vampire film, and it's one of these. I'm a more of a lover of Fright Night, and I'm more of a lover of The Lost Boys. And it's an hard one, but I do respect The Lost Boys. It was a different look of vampire movies. It definitely brought a different light of vampire movies. So I dilute it for that. I dilute it. So, like I said, in near a fun fair, you've got the older brother, and he falls for a girl called Star. Star, that's what I wanted. I'm gonna make you a video star. Not that type of star. But he falls in love with a girl called Star. And he meets the lads on the way. And they take him to this place. They offer him a Chinese and they fuck with him basically. They do an ultimate mindfuck. There's a bit where he thinks he's eating rice, and they say he's eating maggots. It tells he's eating rice, but what he sees maggots. He spits it out. They offer him noodles. They say he's eating worms. He sees worms, and then he realizes it isn't. It's just noodles. So basically, they're fucking with him. They're doing him the ultimate mindfuck. So to cut the story short, they offered him wine. This time they say it's blood. He says yes, right. What he doesn't know is it is blood. I thought it was different. I thought it was a unique way of doing a vampire film. It wasn't your typical bite on the neck. It half turns him into a vampire. You got one lad, he meets some lads on the way by a very long holding. We all remember him playing in Demnings, he played in the 4th Friday the 13th. David Golding, remember his name right there. And he also did the 5th Friday the 13th. He makes a small disappearance, as well as the do list. And he plays with his other lad called the Fog Buffers. And they're giving the lad horror comics, done him the double this town is, it's riddled with vampires. And you got the Dan Dad. I love the bit where he says, "Where's Sam MTV? You've got a TV mag." He says, "I've got a TV mag, but if I've got a TV mag, I don't need a TV." So I like that little touch. Sums up TV of the day. And so on. So I sort of like that. So like I said, they do this test with the lad called Michael, and they're all on these bars, they're all let go. Michael's panicking, you hear the voice of a very long time for sort of first saying, "Michael, Michael," and it makes him let go. That's when he realises to say, he's a vampire. And I love the bit where the buffer finds out. You see, he's got half a perfection. So he's sort of like half a vampire. Sort of like little tuts. That's there for. And that's where he gets the fog buffers to help out. And he saves Star, he saves this little boy. And I like a bit of time for something's down to get him and he burns his hand by the sun. So let's do that little touch of the sun. There's a bit of holy water and they do stake a vampire on the way. So there's a bit where they get holy water, they set him up, and it's one of these use the vampire because there's one man on the way who works in the days of rentable video shops. Oh, I miss that golden era. And the mother's dating him. Oh, it's got me this big. There's a bit where they're trying to test him, but it doesn't finger. I thought, was this just written in at the last minute? Because what happens is, right, the vampires are going to get Michael, right? And they break into the house to cut the story short. They're attacking them. The fog buffers kill the vampires. There's a bit where they shoot a bow arrow and one fires on this radio and the lad says, "Death by stereo." I love the bit where one of the vampires, the fire water pistol, says, "Ha ha, you missed." And then the dog runs out, knocks him in a bath of holy water. That reminds me a bit of Dracula 72 AD, where one falls in water. But I felt this was done a lot better. In my eyes, this was done a lot better. Because you see him, you see the bones, you see blood shooting out. Because the time to the rate in miles, you've got like a watery substance of blood, but you know what I mean? You get the idea that it's blood. And I do love the bit where one of the vampires is fighting again, played by very long time for Sullivan. He's fighting with Michael, but then Michael gets the better hand and he slams him in these horns because the Dandad has these horns like a stake and it kills him. But it doesn't turn him back normal, doesn't turn Star back normal. And then the guy comes in, as I'm about to say. Comes in. The mum's boyfriend, he sees what's happening. And then he comes into it, Michael, and says, "I didn't fight you this time." And then he turns into a vampire, says, "You never let a vampire in your house." Sits his tongue out, vampire tongue. And I thought, was it just written in this bit? Did he just add this bit in, just do it an extra of a fucking twist ending? Because, like, where the fuck did this come from? Seriously, where the fuck did this come from? The guy that works in a rentable video store is what? He's a vampire. Come on. Serious, that's all. I just felt that bit was just thirsting. I really do. But I do love the bit where the Dad gets a talk, fires a big fucking steak, lands him across his thing, and he bowls up into smoke. But then again, I don't know because it kind of makes the Dad look like an arsehole. It's all like he knew what was going on, but he never warned the family, never told the family. He opens up, gets a bottle of beer, and he says, "One damn thing about this town. There always is too many damn vampires." End of movie. But I do like the songs in it. You got one guy's playing this fucking instrument like a trumpet and he's singing some sort of rock song. He's got big raping muscles. And sort of like Fight Night, back in the day they made lots of comic books to market The Lost Boys. Like most films over the years, there was two TV sort of direct-to-video sequels and do it like that. The second one, I've heard rumours it's a piece of shit, but I've never seen it, so it's not for me to judge. And I've heard the third one is a big improvement. Again, never seen it, not for me to judge. But The Lost Boys, yeah, I can see why it was a big hit film back in 1987. Definitely made lots of money. And like I say, it did two direct sequels over the years. But what can I say about it? Yeah, it's a good one. It's got a good story to it. And it's one of these. I'm a love for a Fight Night more because I'm more into the old school sort of vampires. But saying that, I like the old practical effects. But doesn't mean I hate the Lost Boys. I like the Lost Boys. I can respect that they did something different. This is a bit where the vampires are flying about. They're roaring, but it's not fucking every 2 minutes. It doesn't come across being stupid. It doesn't come across being ridiculous. I just wish it had an 18 to it. There's bits where it tries to be X-rated. That's a bit where the vampires are killing these bikers and they're scalping them and they're throwing them in fire. But it's actually ticking out halfway that they decided to get the rating to a mild rating. It's like, just go full fucking leather. Go full leather. But I respect it what it was. It didn't take itself too serious. It was a fun film. It was a fun ride. So for The Lost Boys, by directed by the legend himself, being Schumacher, may he rest in peace. Yeah, he's done shit like fucking Batman Forever. It's actually called Buttman Forever. He did the worst of all, Buttman and Fobbing, as I like to call it. But this one is not a shit one. This has been one of my favourites of Schumacher. After that, or Fall Down, played by Michael Douglas. But this one, for its time, it was a dud one. But internet, be smart, be safe. Five star rating for me. Have a dud one.